we honor our nations with singing of our national anthem performed by Gongla. Ý chung là cái nên cha mấy chỗ này cho từ thọ mấy chút là sợ thì bây giờ hu răng cao hở từ cái lúc tiếp theo bên nhau hơn là nó từ yêu hu nó giờ Gongla.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Each and every one of you are able to join us today in this evening of our community to celebrate the culture, leadership, and support for Senator Foung here today. Nhớ rằng ý trong là sẽ cứ tin rằng mẹ cho nên cho từ rất là cứ trong xã tại mẹ mua lu xã hội to cộng cứ Senator Foung lu fundraiser to mà nó cứ lu dù bé ok trong xã to cứ Senator Foung nó nằm mà cứ tại Colombia who all Jay Her. My name is Jay Her. Yeah. Strong communities are built when neighbors, organizations, and leaders all come together and work. It is the representative of the Heights.
Hello, Senator. Hello, everybody. My name is Todd Hurley, and I am the President and CEO of the St. Paul Port Authority. I was actually born and raised just down the street from this exact location, so I can start off by saying that I am a proud East Sider of the city of St. Paul. I can also say that I am extremely proud to call Senator Foung her a friend. I have been very fortunate to have actually traveled the world with the senator. I can tell you firsthand, I have watched him represent this city, this part of St. Paul, and the state of Minnesota very well throughout the world. And again, very proud to have been able to join the senator on those trips. I can also tell you he is a very generous person with his time. As the president of the Port Authority, we've got a lot of work we do in St. Paul, and Senator Foung has been very, very gracious with his time in helping our missions. The project I'm here to talk about today is actually a project called the Heights. 7 years ago, the St. Paul Port Authority was asked if we would be willing to take on the acquisition and redevelopment of a 125-acre golf course over here on the east side of the city of St. Paul, formerly known as the Hillcrest Golf Course. I can tell you that with a little bit of trepidation, we said we would, and I can tell you my first phone call, or one of my first phone calls, was to the senator. I called up Senator Foung Hawj and I said, Senator, we have an idea and we have a project, and what it could end up being is one of the greatest investments on the city, on the east side of the city of St. Paul, and that would be for the redevelopment of the Hillcrest Golf Course over here. The senator, again, gracious with his time, said, Todd, tell me what you need, and I will work with you to get this done. I can tell you, 7 years later, if you've driven by, you can see tremendous progress. That progress wouldn't have happened without the senator. Senator Foung Hawj has sponsored numerous pieces of legislation providing funding for infrastructure up at the Heights, for funding a district energy geothermal system up at the Heights, for helping us go vertical this year with our first multi-family affordable housing units, 213 units, all made possible through the state legislature and Senator Foung Hawj's leadership. So we sit here today with a redevelopment on the east side that will deliver 1,000 jobs to the east side. We're halfway there if you go by there now. We are going to deliver 1,000 affordable housing units, some of them for ownership. As you go by and you can see them today, Habitat for Humanity has been building houses as we speak, and over 700 multi-family, affordable, high-quality housing units for all income levels and all age levels. These projects are also going to be hooked up to the first of its kind district energy geothermal system, again, with the help of leadership of our senator. And also, I'm proud to say, a brand new park for the east side of St. Paul and 20 acres of green space and trails. So I'm here to say to everybody, thank you, Senator. Good luck, and I cannot wait to continue working with you into the future. Thank you very much, Senator.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Chandra Herr, and I'm a volunteer and the secretary for Senator Foung Hawj's campaign for Senate District 67. I don't have any special talents, so I won't be providing tonight's entertainment, but I'm very good at reading names. Unless we met at the registration table, then you'll know that wasn't my strongest strength. I'd like to take a moment to recognize the elected officials who have joined us this evening and those who are still on the way. As I call your name, please stand or rise so that we can acknowledge you with a round of applause at the end. We'll also be hearing from some of you later tonight. First on my list is Senate Majority Leader Erin Murphy, representing Senate District 64 in St. Paul. Senator Nick Frentz, representing Senate District 18 in North Mankato. Senator Mary Kunish, Assistant Majority Leader, representing Senate District 39. Senator Doran Clark, representing Senate District 60 in Minneapolis. Senator Susan Pa, representing Senate District 38 in Brooklyn Park and Brooklyn Center. Senator Tu Zhang, representing Senate District 44 in Maplewood. Representative Liz Lee and Representative Jay Zhang, representing House District 67A and B on St. Paul's East Side. Representative Peter Fisher and Representative Leon Lilly, representing District 44A and B. Representative Samantha Vane, representing District 38B. Representative Maria Isa Perez Vega, representing District 65B. Additionally, we are honored to have elected officials from local government joining us tonight. Maplewood City Councilmember Chonburi Lee and Councilmember Nikki Vicencio. Ramsey County Commissioner Mai Chong Zhang and Commissioner Kelly Miller. St. Paul City Council members Shaniqua Johnson and Councilmember Molly Coleman. St. Louis County Commissioner Paul McDonald. And State Senator Foung Hawj. We have a very full house tonight, so if there are any other elected officials in attendance that I missed, please rise so that we can also recognize you as well. Attorney John Choi. Okay. Thank you all for being here tonight, and thank you for your continued service, leadership, and commitment to our communities. We appreciate everything you do for the people of Minnesota. Let's give all our elected officials another warm round of applause. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Chandra. I would like to bring up Senator Amy Klobuchar's husband, John Kessler, to talk.
Thank you very much. Amy gave me about a 20-minute speech to read, but I'm going to shorten that in the interest of time. Senator Herb, we really appreciate all your work in St. Paul, and obviously we need you in St. Paul. Amy and I had a chance last month to go to the Hmong Village, and a very vibrant place, but we also heard a lot of stories about what happened during the winter with the ICE occupation and the chaos that came to the Twin Cities with Metro Surge. So I've actually been to that project at the Heights. It's really impressive. And Ben Shire here is Amy's Lieutenant Governor candidate, so please get to know Ben. He's great. We met his family, and we're really excited about Ben's campaign. Maybe he'll say a little bit of words about housing, because that's a big issue you've been working on in the legislature. And the Heights project is 1,000 units, but Ben and Amy had a recent event where they talked about the need to have at least 100,000 houses built in Minnesota to make those affordable. So we had a chance to see your leadership at the Hmong Village with the Hall of Fame for all the people that were the heroes that were there. I had a chance, I think, to meet your dad as well earlier. So we really appreciate all your work, so those people are not forgotten. Amy's been doing a lot of work as well in DC. And I think this is the moment where we really need to come together for this state to move this state forward, not only in housing, but also on healthcare, lots of other issues. So we need allies. Aaron Murphy here, I know, just saw our daughter, Abigail, recently, and it's going to be a real honor, I think, for Amy to serve as governor of Minnesota, and she's going to be working hard. She works hard every day. I know that myself. I've seen that ever since our daughter was born with some swallowing problems. She had all the milk came out her nose, and so she had some real struggles. And she went to the legislature, got one of the bills passed, first ones in the country to require a minimum 48-hour hospital stay for new moms and their babies. And ever since then, she's not just been introducing legislation, but passing legislation. So we're going to be working hard in this campaign season. I hope all of you will be too. And so we'll see you on the campaign trail. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Coming up next is the Maplewood City Council, Nikki Villa.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Nikki Villavicencio. I use she, her, sha pronouns, and I am a Maplewood City Council member, and I am so proud to be here to support Senator Foung Hawj. He has been such a friend to not only me and my family, but to the disability community as a whole. You know, he demonstrates inclusion in so many little ways and big ways that's why I will have always been in support. And I call Senator Hawj a friend of mine, and he's much like an uncle or a brother to me. And I know I can count on him. When I go up to the legislature and we discuss really important issues that where we spend a lot of money, for the community that I serve and live in, Senator Her is the one that will say, yes, I'm here. I'm here for inclusion. I'm here for people. And you know, in a divided time in this society, when the enemies around us are saying to be divided, Senator Her is the one that brings people together. And I think that is something that we need to hold on to and keep doing one by one with each other, is including each other in the things. You know, we don't all have to agree on things, but the things we do agree on, we need to stick together. So thank you, Senator Her, and everyone here for supporting him, and let's keep the great work in the state of Minnesota going. Thank you.
We are fortunate tonight to have distinguished members of the Minnesota House of Representatives with us tonight. Please welcome Representative Fisher, Representative Va, Representative Foung, and Representative Lee. Please welcome.
Good evening. Thank you for the opportunity to be here. Senator Foung and I have had the great opportunity to be partners and friends. We've shared this border between our districts, but more importantly, Senator Foung is taking care of the Environment Committee in the Senate, and I had co-chair in the House. And it was important to have Senator Foung in the Senate because he protected the wins that we've had over the last 3 years in the environment, because the Republicans in the House wanted to undo a lot of things that we had out there. And it was because of your strong leadership we were able to protect them, be able to protect the community grants that will help small nonprofits in our areas get the funding to do the projects, and also to preserve and build on our wins. You helped build with the permitting efficiency. So I want to say thank you for that. Without your leadership, we would not have been able to protect our wins. Thank you.
It's nice to see a packed house. Thank you everyone for coming. I'm State Representative Samantha Vang. I represent the Brooklyn Park, Brooklyn Center side. And it's been a pleasure working with Senator Foung in the Legacy Committee. He chairs the Legacy in the Senate, and I co-chair on the House side. And it's been quite an interesting feature that we have a tied House. And so Senator Foung has been a great partner in ensuring that we continue to push our Democrat agenda forward to make sure that we pass a bill relating to the Outdoors Heritage Bill, and next year we'll have more funding for our arts and culture. And so looking forward to working more with you and continue to support Senator Foung. Every little bit goes a long way, as it's campaign season for everyone, and everything costs money, and even the time spent here too as well. So I appreciate everyone's time for being here tonight and supporting Senator Foung.
I'm not an expert. I was told to keep it short, so I won't speak long. Jean Charles, no, mais je te dois Senator Foung Hawj, to pulu che no ma, Jean Charles, le to Senator Foung Hawj ya be itu lao nó don cha chết lại. Thật sự bây giờ tôi讲cái cả đang chỉ được 8%, là也是3大被忙了被从处理对 elder 要就好，比如现在那节目Senator Foung Hawj，被采访节目，被有我给家长去了说了，上来么上嘛。嗰種沙龍我咩多謝，因為收押管道六班時的時候就剛 relax 嘅上羅，都把上羅有兩上前經去 for us to take back the majority， 俾你咩六班參加時的時候六班參加俾一大 house， 個俾一 Democrat win this November， 個 Senator Amy Klobuchar 佢俾到 governor， 個俾到俾好 US Senate 個俾defeat Donald Trump this fall， so we're counting on all of you, so donate max $1,000 each of you.
All right, hi everyone. I thought I would also make the ask as the last speaker. I am Representative Liz Lee. I am the north side to Representative Jay Zhang and Senator Her. So I think for maybe it's the English speakers, basically Representative Zhang also said Senator Her is the dean of our caucus, right? We're very grateful to have him dean of our Asian caucus and dean of our East Side caucus. We think we have like an East Side caucus, which includes Maria Isa Perez and some of the other folks. But I think, like Representative Zhang said, next year is a really important year for us. It is a budget year, but you know, We know every 2 years we get a budget year, but next year is really important because we will have to make up in the state budget all of the cuts that the Trump administration has made, right? So if you care about new buildings, infrastructure, if you care about healthcare programs for your parents or for yourself or for your children, especially children with special needs, we have to win here on the state legislature. We have to elect Amy Klobuchar, we have to elect Peggy Flanagan and Zach and our GFL ticket. And so please knock doors or donate and do everything you can. Cô hai lưng mê cho biết cho hai lưng hong hay tia hiong nam yo hiong chu sinh hình Ely representative hiong tàu hai bây chu ying bây thế tàu nia ta cá lo do bây giờ mình nhiều gần đỡ especially ta chỉ nói về bây từ President Trump nó tàu tiền tàu giả nia là thì cho chúng mình nhiều sử dụng khó thế cho tàu giả chỉ nhớ cho lao tổng cần mu cho lao nhớ Medicaid cho lao to SSI lên đó chỉ do base có base cho mu nên trong và mình gì thì trong vấn đề nói do base họ hay là budget year base cho state nó yếu chủ mu thiên nhiên là thấy to cho giả President Trump tàu gì là nó chỉ yếu trong sinh hình vì lên đó chỉ như chủ mỗi nhà đầu phòng mỗi nhà đầu J Samantha bị sửa đời thế ba bị không hoạt động có bị yên nữa, okay? Như ní sao tàu trên nào, so hai mươi nghìn là tốt, ok?
Thank you.
Để hỗ trợ cho representative nè. Yeah, thank you to all the representatives.
All right, I'd like to welcome up some senators to come up and say a few words. Senator Aaron Murphy, Senator Nick Fritz, Senator Doran Clark, and Senator Mary Kunish. Please come to the stage.
Oh, also Senator Susan Pop.
Good evening. I'm Aaron Murphy, and I am the proud majority leader in the Minnesota Senate. I am so honored and grateful to be here tonight with all of you to celebrate and support our colleague, Senator Foung Hawj. And as one of the speakers just said, leadership is defined in many ways. And in public office and in public service, we often think about leadership with a title or a gavel or a position. And Senator Hur is a leader in those ways. He is an assistant leader, a part of the leadership team in the Minnesota Senate, and he's also a chair with two important committees, tending to our environment, our outdoors, and our future. But I would like to talk about the real leadership that I see from my colleague, our colleague, Senator Foung Hawj. He is an elder in the community, and when called upon, he travels across the country or the world for weddings and funerals and celebrations because he knows what his responsibility to the community is, and he takes that on with real pleasure. We often debate and disagree in the Minnesota Senate, in the legislature, and Foung Hawj is always working to bring people together, to find a solution, and he does it with incredible integrity and commitment to the community he represents. And he always keeps his word. And in politics these days, that's not always the case. And we have been through some rough times in Minnesota in the last few years, especially when we think about what ICE has done to our communities. Foung was ever present, fighting for the community, bringing his leadership with integrity, with protection, and with determination to the Minnesota Senate and to the work of our future. And that is why we need him back in the Minnesota Senate. I'm grateful to serve with you, and I'm grateful for your leadership, Senator Herr. Thank you for having me tonight, and I'm going to turn this next to my colleague, Senator Nick Friends.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Nick Friends. Very honored to join you in the same room where I first learned that Senator Herr draws a crowd of 600 people every time he has a fundraiser. I have two stories that I'd like to share with you. And first, I'd like to say, if you're a member of the Special Guerrilla Unit, would you mind please standing so we can honor you at this time? Thank you all very much. And those of you that are standing have probably heard the second story about Senator Herr and how my freshman term, he came to create the moment that I've remembered the most in all my 9 years and 6 months of being a senator, and yes, I am counting. Senator Herr brought before the Minnesota Senate the bill to recognize the Special Guerrilla Unit, which he explained to some of us in caucus was very meaningful in the Hmong community. I'm a son of a veteran, it's meaningful in our community. And he received some pushback on the floor of the Senate. The kind of pushback that would not make me proud as a senator from some other members who shall remain nameless. And there were arguments about, well, why can't you wait to honor the Special Guerrilla Unit? Why do we need a memorial? And the one I remember the most is that a member stood up and said, well, can't we just defeat this motion today, not pass the bill to honor the Special Guerrilla Unit, and talk about it this summer? At this point, I stood up and just kind of looked around, and Senator Herr was right to the left of me on the floor, our freshman term, and in a very quiet tone, he said, I hear what you're saying, but I want you to know, this is the third time I have brought this issue forward. If you do not pass it today, right now, to honor these men, I will never bring it again, and I will never forget that you defeated it. And many of you know what happened. The Senate then passed the bill, which led to the memorial of the Special Guerrilla Unit. And to this day, I do not drive by or walk by that memorial without thinking of the sacrifices made by the members of the Special Guerrilla Unit, those that are with us tonight and those that can't be with us, but mostly about Senator Foung Hawj and the kind of leadership that he showed. And it's an example for every member of the Senate to say, if you believe in it enough, then stick to it. You will be rewarded. It is my honor to serve with you, Senator Herr. Thank you all very much.
Thank you for staying up here on stage with me. I appreciate that. I was just saying to my colleagues, I need a podium because I have to stick to my script. Or else I'm going to go off topic because I have way too many great things to say about Senator Herr. First, I want to say, Senator Foung Hawj. I am proud to be a state senator who represents Senate District 38, which is Brooklyn Park, Brooklyn Center, and Osseo. And good evening, everyone. It is my incredible honor to be here in support of my good friend and mentor, Senator Foung Hawj. Someone who has not only been a Senate colleague and a thoughtful leader and an incredible lawmaker and champion for the state of Minnesota and for all Minnesotans, but someone who has been just amazing advocate for our communities. Throughout my time in the Senate, I've had the privilege of watching Senator Foung Hawj lead with wisdom, strength, and purpose, and his impact can be seen in every corner of our state. Those of you who have known him for as long as I have, for well over a decade, know what an incredible leader he is. e ku haidon pe ga nitsi ku tilang cha ne shara dia. The reason why ku la kia wa na o chu na, ye vi de ku pa Senator Foung Hawj yi zi jia, ne zi jia la shao jie de bei mong ne la shao jie de bei ga shuo, ne to inspire ku la kia wa na o chu, ye vi ku pa ne za ki jia, jia shong de bei shara wa de gao shong. No na ya in no shong chap la bei to chao ne ko ne da ka yang lu zhong na, ko ne da ka la shao jie o bei lu shuo. The Bay State Capitol sa big na chu kyong bo le kya la ku hai ru ne sha de ku I tu hao le na I sha ku bo de ne I tu shi sha chap lo le na shi sha chap lo the tan tho pe che la che se ring da nak tu nu chap lo. I'm so proud that I have Senator Foung Hawj as a mentor. All the great things I've ever been able to accomplish is because of him. And because of his leadership and his support and guidance. Senator Foung Hawj has helped shape policies that will benefit generations to come here in our state. He has brought people together, built consensus where others saw division. He has fought for investments that strengthen our communities, protected our natural resources, and created opportunities for families across the state. But what makes Senator Hawj truly special is his leadership extends well beyond the Capitol, as all of you know. That's why this room is filled with supporters for him, because we know the great work that he does. We know that he's in every single part of his district and in Minnesota, always in community, talking with his constituents and talking with Minnesotans about what they care about. For the Hmong and Asian American Pacific Islander immigrant and refugee community, Senator Hawj has been a very important voice. He's been a very important person who has represented those voices and experiences that we've had. He's been a voice to understand the struggles of not just our immigrant and refugee communities, but of the people in his district, the people who struggle every day. He's been a voice that has understand what it means to overcome barriers and create opportunities where none exist. I'm so proud of Senator Foung Hawj and his work, and I know that many of you who are here see what an incredible legislator he is. And let's hope that he never retires, because we need him to be there year after year after year.
Named as upcoming Lieutenant Governor Ben Shire. So Ben, Lieutenant Governor, you guys, Amy Klobuchar and Lieutenant Governor candidate Ben Shire, make sure you remember them. I'll pass the mic to him. Welcome to the East Side.
Thank you so much, Senator. Wow, what a welcome. Yeah, my name is Ben Shire, and I am honored to be running with Amy Klobuchar as her Lieutenant Governor. But I'm also honored to be here tonight with so many leaders, both elected and community leaders, and especially my friend, Senator Hawj. I will say this, as John, Amy's husband John said, the Senator's been pretty clear. We're gonna focus on communities. We're gonna focus on jobs and healthcare and housing for communities. And that, to get that done, it's going to take partnerships with leaders like Senator Hawj, and it's also going to take showing up, right? We have to show up, and I want to tell you a story. So Senator Hawj was talking about, before I was Lieutenant Governor candidate, I was running for state auditor, and I reached out to Senator Hawj and I said, "Hey, I want to tell you about our state auditor campaign." And he said, "Yeah, I'd love to learn about that, but I'd also love for you to learn about my community. Why don't you come to my community?" And so he invited me to this very room, and it was Mai Chong's campaign kickoff, and it was a successful campaign kickoff, and I was honored to be here for that. And he introduced me to a lot of wonderful people that night. But I realized something about Senator Hawj and the connection we had. I'm from Western Minnesota. He's from the East Side. But a lot of times the communities that we represent have felt overlooked, right? We felt like people don't show up unless they're looking for votes at election season. So I think it's really important that we talked about that we need to show up in all of these communities. And one of the things that Senator Klobuchar, myself, and I think the leaders in this room are committed to, the DFL is committed to this year. We're going to deliver for every single community. And I'm really proud to be a part of a DFL that values every single person in Minnesota, right? Whether that's from Western Minnesota, where I'm from, or the east side of St. Paul, we're going to show up and we're going to deliver. And after that, last thing I'll say is this. After the event for my chong, Senator Hurd took me over to one of the restaurants here on the east side, and we had a nice meal. And he told me about the impacts that ICE had on his community. And I could see it in his eyes, that there's a real leader here that really cares about his community. Then a couple days later, I heard him speak on the Senate floor, and if you remember, he talked about impacts that it had to your community. And quite honestly, I got kind of emotional, and I let my wife listen to that speech, and I said, his community, and someone that I'm really honored to call my friend. So thank you, Senator Hurd, for all you do, and thanks for 4 more years, all right?
A new 4.